Okay, I don't know if anybody's going to show. If they do, you do. I'm just here to say what's going on. So there it is. So for those people who are interested, I went to the fair yesterday. Did not have a good time because I left my gear here, was sitting on the floor right there, all packed, ready to go. Didn't have it with me. So no video, unfortunately. Well, I don't know if anybody's going to show. Well, we'll find out, won't we? Let's pop out my chat where I can see what I can see. That's it. Okay. Let's sit here and see what they is to do. I think Jenny's staying in her room. Okay. Okay. Hey, Grace, how you doing? Thank you for coming. Just impromptu live, not much going on. Hopefully, I might get this thing to work here. I had it popped out here once. There we go. You picked up another one of these. As you know, they're really cool looking. Oops, sorry. The dragon-headed fire steel. Maybe doing another giveaway with these, most likely. Glad to hear it. I did not have a decent day yesterday, unfortunately, so please forgive me that there will be no video of the fair yesterday due to the fact is everything went downhill because of the rain. Hey, Rob, how you doing? Going to be doing a giveaway soon. Give away one of these. See? Dragon-headed, just like the last one. And you can use it for multiple things. Striker for the most part. You punch somebody, use it as a blanket pin. All different kinds of uses for this thing. So, I'm just, have some time on my hands. Just got home from work, hanging out. Decided to get on, see who was out there. Not much planned. The video that I had planned to do at the fair got stuck at home, sitting on the floor. Didn't get packed, unfortunately. It was packed, but it didn't get put in the vehicle, so I was unable to do any video. This is another one, Rob. This is the second one. So there's what this one looks like. I have not really tested this one. Actually, give me a moment here. Get something from my bag and we'll test it. fuel, stoves. That one. Maybe in the other pouch. What the fuck is that? Okay. I'm trying to find something and I don't know where it went to. I'm gonna have to make do with what I got. Sorry. Bear with me, folks. Hey Bob, how you doing? Hey Esty, how you doing? That's perfectly fine if you can't stay. Thank you for coming anyway. Oh, I can understand that. I'm just trying to find my my good bag, and I'm not sure where it went to. My belt pouch. I'm not sure if it got put in my other backpack or what. So I'm going to show off the new striker I found that I'm going to be doing the giveaway on. As you see, it's a dragon-headed one, just like the last one. So, and it's really cool looking. Yeah, me too. Me too. Dang it. I hope I put that in my bag over here because I can't. I kind of need the bag. The stuff is in it. And I didn't realize I didn't have it. So I'm going to go through the bag I had originally packed for yesterday and see if it's in here. Oh, no, that's not good. Give me a moment. I got to talk to my wife real quick. Hey, love. Hey, love. I'm missing something. My pouch. My new one. It's not my gear. It's not here, and it's not in here, and it wasn't in the bag. I know I had it.
Weren't we looking for it the other day?
No, that was my Sporin.
Oh.
This is the new one I got before. It's got my.
The one you were showing to Bill.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's not over here.
It wouldn't be in the room, would it?
No, I don't think so. I don't have it here.
I'm gonna go look.
Okay. I don't remember putting it in there.
Well, things just kind of got thrown in here. Wouldn't be here, would it?
I don't think so. What's stuff over here? Things got tossed over here too, so.
Yeah.
But I generally keep it in my backpack. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Especially since it's.
Underneath the board there?
Yeah, I just did. I got my knives, but not my. Because it's got my Hudson Bay, tobacco tin in it, and I kind of need that. Oh, sorry about that, folks. Hey, Mike, thank you for coming. Thank you. My wife actually bought this, even though she knew I was going to give it away for me. So she was the only one thing I walked away from the fair with. But I'm going to give it away to you guys because I already have one. I just got to figure out where my pouch is at the moment because I don't remember seeing it since I had it here. Excuse me. Not sure. Okay, we'll find it. Yes, definitely. Definitely. My wife is a goddess. She's amazing in so many ways. And I tell her that every day. Then she rolls her eyes at me. Okay. I just feel like, as I'm getting older, I end up misplacing more things, even though I could just. The other day, I put down my mouse and I couldn't find it for the life of me. And I just picked it up. But though, for those people who have not seen it, I recently got a bag from Foxed Outdoors, which includes a ton of fat wood. Though I had this prior. A micro tool, which is a little spool and tick remover, and a cordage cutter from Grim Workshop, which you can use to cut cordage out of bottles and what have you, and lots of firewood. Yeah. Let's see here. Last time I seen it was when I was showing everybody off the new flints that I picked up at the flea market last week, and I don't remember what I did with it since then, which was really freaky. So I usually carry it in my backpack with me every day. I don't think I took it out of the truck because I didn't see it in the truck. Any luck, love? No. Give me a second. I'll be right back, folks. Well, it's not in the living bedroom. I don't remember taking it in there. What you doing? No, I have it around feet. I'm showing off with the prints that I got from the thing that I took my house. Tobacco thing. I don't think so. It's not my bag. It's not the good green bag. We didn't see it in the truck. We cleaned out the truck. So it happened here.
Well, then I'll keep looking for it. You do your thing.
Okay. Because last time I remember I seen it was by my chair. I thought I packed everything back in my bag.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to be nice, and you always tell me to pick up my stuff after I'm, done showing it off. Oops, dang it! I feel like an idiot. Well, forgive me, folks. Yeah, but I'm going to be giving away this soon. Probably on Thursday, most likely. So that way I can ship it out next week when I get paid. And it's going to be cool. Hey, Frontier, look what I got. Look familiar? How you doing, Heath? So there you go. It's not in that, because I know it's not in the tote. I don't think Ian had it.
No, I wouldn't have had it. Mac. You go, buddy.
And like I said, I didn't see it in the truck. It's weird. Hey, Prepping, how you doing, brother? Okay, Prepping, since you haven't seen it yet, this is what I'm going to be giving it away, probably on Thursday. It's a dragon-headed fire steel, just like my last one. I don't think I'm going to be giving away a whole kit like I did last time, but I do have this. I may have some, it may come with some fat wood, but I do have some small canvas bags I think would go well with this one. I was trying to find my pouch, but I can't seem to remember where I put it. Just sworn. I'll figure it. One moment. I gotta try one more thing.
I still think it's in the trailer.
You think it's in the trailer? Could you check?
The last time you had it was
But the things I got.
camping. That was the weekend, not this last weekend, the weekend before.
But we went to the flea market last weekend.
But you didn't have it.
Yeah, I did. I pulled it out of my bag and I used it for putting the flint into the Hudson Bay Tobacco tin.
Well, then it's probably still in the truck.
But I didn't take it into the truck, it's the thing.
Well, I don't know.
I don't either. But I do know one thing I'm going to check on. This is one thing you've got to be careful with. That's Ian's blanket pin. I got to go over here and find those. You remember where those went to?
What? What are you looking for now?
Those canvas bags that we got.
Well, the last I saw you had pulled them out of the box.
I know. Too desperately. We. I thought it would be a I don't know what anything is. Like I said, I feel like an idiot. I mean, I know I had it, it doesn't work with it. You know? This is dumb. I've been losing track of stuff so much lately. You know, just pull that box up. But I gotta get back to my street. Damn it. I must be losing my mind, though. I gotta be. No! I'm getting worse. I'm forgetting things.
Hi, honey. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but I don't want to lose it all at once. That would be very bad. That's not it. That's not. I'm sorry, folks, for wandering off. I just feel I've been forgetting things really badly lately, and yeah, can't remember anything. This really sucks. Yep, I end up doing the same thing, Mike. I forget things all the time. Well, this Thursday I'll be giving away this striker. I'm not going to be giving away the flint because I've only got so much flint to give away. Because the only flint I've got right now is the one I just acquired. If I can just find my stupid bag, and I'm talking about my belt pouch, my possible bag, and I have no clue where it went to. If it's in the truck, I have to go out in the truck and look. My wife keeps on saying, "Oh, it's in the trailer," but I had it out last week. Hey, Cheryl, thank you for coming. Long time no see. Well, you got a chance of winning it as just as much as anyway. I'm going to do a random comment generator, and hopefully, I wish I knew how to do the wheel thing like JV Outdoors does, but I don't know how to do that. I just do the random comment thing. It's going to be in this Thursday's live 7 o'clock. 8 p.m. this Thursday. on that video, if you comment below on that video, you have a chance to win this. I don't know who's going to win it. If you do, more power to you. I'll send it out to one lucky winner next week. I'm sorry. Just a little bit. Yeah, I've had a bad weekend and things just. I'm hoping I will be able to find my gear soon because I remember having it. Now I don't, which is really freaky. It'll probably come to me. And I'm probably gonna have to look out in the trailer just to be because she says it's out in the trailer. So, what's new? Okay, I'm getting distracted. Give me 1 minute, folks. I've got to go do something. This has got to be driving me nuts. But I could have sworn I had it last week when I was showing off the but I thought I put it in my new kit. Found it in the truck. Okay, folks, sorry about for the delay. I found what I was looking for. I was being dumb. Please forgive me for being stupid. Okay. Hey, Cheryl, how you doing? Hey, Howie. Okay, what I was looking for was actually in here. Give me a moment here. We'll give it a shot and see how well this thing works. Hey, Ronald, thank you for coming. For those people who didn't know, this is my personal fire steel. You can see the difference between the two. And what I had picked up at the flea market, for those people who haven't seen it yet, is this really sweet piece of flint. Haven't tested it yet. Good striker, as you can see. So, this thing works really well. But for those who haven't seen it, this is the fire steel that I'm going to be giving away this Thursday. Dragon-headed, just like Frontier won earlier this year. And I thank each and every one of you for coming. I really appreciate it. Cool. This right here is the pieces I picked up from a rendezvous reenactor who does rendezvous up near Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin. I haven't tried this piece yet. Ooh, that test is really good too. But I still like my personal one better. It fits my hand better. Yeah, that was my better one. No one's getting that. But there you go. This, I do have a canvas bag somewhere. I could probably put this in. Perhaps. I don't know yet. Yeah, I don't know where Ian put the flint, Grace. He puts stuff everywhere. But for those people who want to know, this is made from a file, so you could use it to sharpen your knives if you needed to, or your axes or what have you. You can use it for defense or offense, depending on what your case is. You could use it for a blanket pin, like I said. But if you got a decent piece of, little piece of metal, you can use to cross it over, make it like a pin. You could use it for paperweight if you just want to do it that way. File your nails. Lots of good uses for this. Like I said, I prefer mine. It's a little different in style, not by much, but bigger and beefier. You see how wide that is? Yes, it's well used. Let's see, this was what mine does. It fits my hand like that. And if I really need to defend myself, there you go. Won't be breaking my knuckles that way. I'm not sure if everybody's seen my last live. We picked up some really interesting things at the last flea market we went to. I'm going to be doing a video just on the table coming up soon. My desk table. For those people who haven't seen it yet, this table right here, or the desk as you see it here, is actually a 7'4" by 3'4" table when it's fully extended. I don't know what brand it is. We're going to look it up and do some research, find out what year it was made, who made it. It comes with 4 leaves, and that's our table for our dining room. So it's going to be good and cool. So let me see what I can see if I can maybe get somebody up here. I have no idea what's going to happen. I talked to Cliff already on Instagram. He may not be in because he's got so much stuff on his garden he's got to get done, or he's going to fall behind. And the fact that he was up really late on JV's channel last night didn't help. So if he's listening in, I love you, brother. So we'll find out. So who would be interested in trying to win this? This is a really good one. I do know for a fact that the vendor I got this does have another one. I'd have to contact him, but I'd like to see if I can probably get more of these. If I would have had more money, I would have probably bought them out, but I just didn't have enough. This little kit here doesn't have char cloth in it. That's why I have my char cloth in this. And I have a little tiny pieces of fat wood. Not as, beefy as these or even these. If I can find the little pouch canvas bags that I have, I might include a couple of these. Who knows? Hey, Victoria, how you doing? Yes, I know. Yeah, these steels are really, really nice. I don't have I've got knives. I even got one coming from someone I consider semi-famous. If you give me a moment, I'll grab my knives that I was going to use for those particular items. Even though I do have another one here that I can carry with me as well. I do have my case knife, which needs a new handle and sheath for, because I want to make sure get my sheaths all left-handed, but I can't really do it. That's a good idea. I might consider doing that from now on, Mike. I do have a little bit of magnesium I might throw in there. Who knows? So I've got things, but the knives, I'm not sure. I'm sure some of those who are on my lives regularly know about this knife here. You've seen it. This one actually is a trade knife from the 1960s for reenactors. So this is pretty cool. And I do have. Actually, I didn't actually get the chance to show you guys who haven't seen it yet. One of the 3 things that Cliff sent me is this ferro rod. Got a hole in it and everything for a lanyard. Wait for it. Dig it in. This ferro rod, same length as the other one, but round, still with a lanyard hole, as you can see. And last but not least, if I can find it, a half-size one of the same thickness. And yes, still with a lanyard hole. I'm probably going to put one right that I can carry around my neck. That's always a good thing to carry. I haven't really tested these very much. Yeah, it works really well. But Mike, thank you for the idea about the silica, gel packs. Those things are a good idea for keeping your any of your fire starting materials dry. What kind of steels do you have, Ronald? I've got one striker, well, 2 technically, but one is going for the giveaway. I have quite a few different ferro rods. I think I left my other bag over there on my chair. I think. But one of the knives I have is some of you may recognize this one as a Mora Light My Fire. Sorry, this way. Which has the really cool ability to, pull out a little teeny little ferro rod. It works pretty decent. And the knife is good too. It's a Mora. Comfortable. Well, I may be hitting you up for some chat on Thursday if my friend works out. Would you be interested in doing an interview, Ronald? I had a guy I was looking at who had these really nice knives that were made from files, but he wanted way too much for them. But this thing was a beautiful knife. I would have loved to have been able to afford to buy it, but I didn't have over $200. But I go to Rendezvous myself, and I am just a minor player at best. I've only been doing it since 2014. And hey, Tyler, thank you for coming. I'm glad you got my message. I was going to let you know that I plan on, doing a giveaway for one of these. As you guys can see, it's a dragon-headed fire steel, and it does strike really well. Though it probably worked better for those people who are smaller hands than I do. My good piece of flint, which I love this thing. It's actually pretty cool. But I'll be doing a giveaway this Thursday on this fire steel. So come to my live stream on, I'm not sure what just happened. There we go. I'm not sure how I did that, but that's different. That's probably what happened. Huh? No, I'm not sure if I could make this. Let's do that. That way I can see everybody. No, you do not. Now, if you have some examples to show people, you're more than welcome. I just want to do an interview with. I'm going to get the leader of the Two Rivers Rendezvous, hopefully this week up. He had a meeting he couldn't miss out on Thursday, and the week before that he was sick. So, because he's just got a lot of stress going on. He just recently lost his grandfather. So, and he had to bury him the weekend of the VU, which really sucked. Any guy who could, help raise that guy, or my friend Ryan, is definitely going to be missed. But I would love to have you up for an interview, Ronald, on Thursday at 8 p.m. I will put your name on the chat and interview and everything, because any information, any kind of thing like that, I will greatly appreciate. I'm not sure if you have one of these, by the way, a Hudson Bay Tobacco tin. I got this courtesy of Grace Martin, who's in the chat. She's a very awesome lady. She came to my archery get-together back in August, I think, or September. I can't remember, but it was just an amazing, fun time for all. At least I believe so. And you could show off any equipment you may have. I want to keep it neutral as possible with the muzzle loaders and black powder rifles. Yeah, but I like those things. Those things are awesome. I don't have one, but I've always wanted one. August. Thank you, Grace. Cool. I also would like to know about, your lodge that you may have and anything else that you might want to. Yeah, these are really awesome containers. The fact that it fits my striker in it as well, and you can use either the striker or the lens. And I'm going to check one more thing on here. If I don't think that little one will fit in here because my striker takes up a lot of room. It's going to be a very comprehensive little kit if this fits. Let's find out. It fits. Yeah. So this thing's got several ways. The only thing I don't have in here is a lighter because you never know. Awesome. Awesome, Ronald. That'd be great. I mean, my boy was actually looking at traps at the VU, and he was considering getting into that, but I cannot offer any advice on trapping other than I know you need a license to do it here in Iowa. And something about boiling your traps or something. I don't know. Not sure because it's something my uncle used to traps who do that, so I don't know. So, like I said, also on that same day, I will be giving away this. So that would be cool. And I will also throw in some fatwood too. If I can find a couple of other canvas pouches, I'll throw one of those in too. But I have until Thursday to find it. So, does anybody have any questions? Anybody want to come up? Anything like that? Bueller, anyone? Sorry, just like. Okay, I thought it was something like that. I thought he boiled it in like something like walnuts or something. I could never get around it because I was allergic. So anything's possible. I learn so much every day. Oh, okay. Ronald, I'm just going to show you my possibles bag. It's not so fancy, just a simple little bag. And here he is now. Hey, Ron. How you doing, brother? Oh, you freeze? Oh, no. Ron, you froze. Cool. Hey, Ron, I hate to tell you this. I think you froze. Let me see if I can get you going again. Nope, that's not going to work. All right, okay. Okay, you're lagging, Ron, I hate to say. Because you're a little frozen right now. I don't know if it's me or if it's you. If it's me, let me know. I will try to fix it on my end. But I've got some other stuff in my thing, my compass, and some fire starters that I made myself. Oh no, this is not good. Not good. Not good. Please, what am I doing wrong? Second chance. Ron, are you there? Ron? Okay, I don't know if Ron can hear me, but there you are. I think that's you. I hope it's not me. use the small ones. The big ones are too big. Ron, can you hear me? Oh, yes, he does. I'll be growing mine out for winter. But I need to, generally need to grow it out for VU, but I just usually keep a goatee for work and stuff. Yeah, this is not working well. Oh man, come on, Ron. I wish I could see you. I want to talk to you. You have so much information. Tyler, if you want to show off your beard, you're more than welcome to come up as per usual. You're always welcome. You know that. Check out this ferro rod there, Tyler. That thing's freaking huge. Bigger than my hand. Okay. Ron, I will figure that out where we can get up there. We can actually converse because you've got a lot of information to give, and I would love to hear it, and I would love to share it with all my followers and my viewers and everybody else I can say hey to. Okay, here's Victoria. Hey, Victoria, how you doing?
I can only stay a little while. The pizza guy's on his way.
So you saw the fire steel, huh?
Yes, I want one of those.
Oh, you're not. I know Cecilia's been wanting one too.
And I tried to win the last time. I wasn't very lucky.
Well, it was totally random, as you already know. There was no favorites involved.
I just am not very lucky. I do not win things.
There's people here who win things all the time. Not me, mind you, but
I'm not. I've been in other people's things when they've given away and tried to win, and I don't have that kind of luck.
Well, you got to keep on trying.
I do, but I never expect to win because I never win.
I'm trying to figure out how to do this one because I'm going to do this giveaway on Thursday.
Oh my gosh, you should see how big this thing is now.
Oh, you want to show it off? Just admit it.
Yeah, I want to show it off.
Tyler, you should check out this thing she's making. She's making a paracord hammock, and she's crocheting it.
You can't even see side to side now.
Oh, wow. Have you measured it recently?
No, I don't have a measuring thing right next to me, but
you always need a tape measure.
It's from shoulder to shoulder at this point.
And you said it's going to be 3 times that wide, right?
Huh?
It's about 3 times that wide is what you're planning on?
Yeah. But I have a feeling it's going to be stopped after I get through this 1,000-foot that I'm working on right now. I think I'm going to stop for a while because
that's perfectly fine. You're supposed to do it at your own pace as much as you're getting your interest.
It's so expensive,
and that and your fingers hurt.
That too, but it's the cost of it.
Hey, I've already put your your channel down in the room, and if maybe you'll get donations of some paracord. You never know.
There's been other people that have tried to get me help, and nobody's
not yet, but you never know.
But if I keep stretching it, see,
you don't want it to stretch too much.
If I keep pulling and stretching it a bit, because I haven't been, stretching it out yet.
Right.
I've just been working on it. But see, let's see. Here's this
shoulder. Let me go full screen with you.
It goes this far past this shoulder now. If I hold it on this shoulder, it goes that far past now.
Okay. So probably about 2 feet, give or take.
I figure by the time I get done with this 1,000-foot, because I just opened a new roll. It's barely used, see. It's another 1,000 foot. It's gonna take it a little bit wider.
Right.
But I was planning on making it quite wide, like almost a rug size.
Right.
You can take me down there because I want it to be more than just the hammock. I want it to be a tent mat, and also I want it to be a bed mat, so
Right.
that you can fold over like this. I'm just doing a short version like this, and then like this again.
Hello, natural state. Thank you for coming.
So it'll be like 3 times the thickness right here
Right.
as a bed mat, but really long as a floor mat, and then you can also use it as a hammock. And I was thinking there's a lot of different things that you'll be able to
Very
use this thing for.
multi-purpose items. That's pretty cool.
Like if you want to haul wood, you can load this thing down, grab
Right.
the other end, and pick it up, kind of like those bags that you carry logs in.
Right.
Or, you can use it as one of those things to put a broken body, a broken person on it.
Like your void.
roll
Remember
on it.
we discussed that one.
Yeah, there's probably a gazillion things you can do, and that's without taking it apart. But if you needed to take it apart,
Yeah.
boy,
For
yeah.
folks, for those who didn't know, this is 275-pound paracord, correct?
275.
Yeah. See, I remember. I've been paying attention.
Yeah,
And this is a turquoise color, if I remember correctly.
yeah. This one's turquoise.
Yep. But she's accepting any colors at all to add
Right.
to this.
It
So-
doesn't matter. I mean, if you give me different colors, it'll just add interest to what it will look like when it's done.
Exactly.
You
And
know,
she's
Your
and
favorite
this is like
color?
her second project ever she's ever done doing crocheting.
Yeah,
And
I've
this is-
done crocheting one other time in my entire life with regular yarn. Tried to make a blanket, and the top of it was like,
It was all over the place.
yeah, and the whole edges of it was nothing near as straight as this is.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It knows that it's got a purpose.
right.
Exactly.
And like I said, I haven't even been working
If
with
it's hard to stretch, that's a good sign, though. You don't want it to stretch too much, especially when you make it a hammock.
Yeah. When you lay on it, it's gonna naturally stretch, your
But
weight.
the way you
is
got it
gonna-
hooked together, it shouldn't stretch too much. But with the looping and the hooking and everything that you did, it
Yeah.
might increase the weight of the person who could actually use it as well.
Right.
More than just 275. You might actually carry somebody my weight, which is pretty close to actually 275.
That's why I'm saying if somebody
Yeah.
was broken, they broke their leg and they can't walk, you can just roll them onto this thing. A few people grab the edges and just carry them out,
Yep.
But that's one of a bunch of things you can probably do.
101 uses for a crocheted hammock.
Yeah. A paracord hammock. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I'm planning on making for a friend. I am going to take a regular box. I've got it right here as the size. So this box, this direction though, is going to be the size of 1, 2, 3, 4 panels. I'm going to make 4 panels this size and put them together and make a backpack. And then I'll
I
make.
suggested a backpack.
Huh?
I suggested a backpack.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to do it because I'm not, like I said, I this is all new to me. I've never done it before. I'm going to make panels this size, 4 of
You
them.
use it as a pattern, basically.
Right. And then I'm going to, when the panels are done, I'll go on the outside, like hook them together corner to corner.
Right.
And crochet them together on the edges so they'll be double strength. But I'm thinking that orange paracord that I showed you that's
Right.
thicker. I don't know if I have quite enough of it, but I'll do as a design type on maybe a few of the edges,
Right.
just as that pop and that little bit extra strength. And then I'm going to make like back straps, and
Okay.
I'll
Quick
do the
question
same
on
thing.
that. Are you going to make one side a little longer before you can have a flap, sort of like to go over the
Yeah,
top?
I wasn't going to do it a little longer. I was going to just do them all perfectly square with each other, and except for maybe the top flap, and I'll
Right.
make that one in particular a little longer so it can go from the backside over to
That's what I
front,
was wondering.
and then use that thicker, heavier orange one as a tie, because that's all I can think of as a way to keep the flap
What
closed.
you could do for a tie, it's like similar to what I've got on my bag here, is
Right.
use a button just to wrap it around and tie it down that way.
You need a good sized button though, because it is.
Or you don't have to use a bone button like this one. You could use a big pewter button. You could use whatever you'll have on hand.
Right. I would
Use a
like
wooden
it to be
toggle if you want to use
something
a
kind of
wooden toggle.
masculine. Being the person I'm going to be making it for is a guy, so I would like it to be something that's
Like this.
no. If I win that, I want to keep it. But
You have to
that
win it
is a
first,
good
though.
idea. Maybe a ferro rod that I can use.
Oh,
Or-
you mean like this?
Well, I don't know how you would. I guess that would work, but
Actually, if you did the loop right on this one here, as you can see, it's got a little hole in it already.
right, I see that.
And I actually, well, let me show you. I actually have a small one that I actually got from Cliff when he sent it to me for my birthday. I found out it fits in my Hudson Bay Tobacco tin, which is really nice. Check out this size. You could use it to wrap around whatever you have and let it hang.
Right, exactly.
And
That's
it's got a really fairly large lanyard hole.
so
as you
send me
can
a
see.
ferro rod, somebody, for a
I'm
button.
not sending you mine. I just got these, and it fits in my kit. So that's just me adding
But
an
I
extra.
gotta win the other ferro rod for me, because
This is
I'm
yeah. I'm not the ferro rods are not going up for any contest. Those are my personal ones, but this right here is.
I like that. Is that
You
also
also
the
need
dragon?
to get a piece of flint or chert or something to strike it with, though, because I'm not going to be giving that away this time. Because
Is that a dragon too?
oh yes, it is a dragon.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yep.
I've never used even a regular ferro rod, so that's all new to me. But it is something that I want to put in my bug out backpack that I showed you the other day.
Cliff and I were discussing your bag. You have
Yes.
no food in there.
No, I have a
water
whole
available
other
in there.
bag. It's one of those waterproof type backpack bags
Right.
to carry food in. That's
Okay.
stuck away with
Well,
the rest
usually
of
you
my-
carry, if whoever's carrying the one bag should have water at the very least, some way of carrying water.
Yeah.
And a way of filtering water as well.
I don't have a filter, but I do have a 5-gallon collapsible, one of those collapsible 5-gallon.
Right. Those are
water
good.
containers.
Well, a really inexpensive one I could suggest is the what is that one called? Someone in the chat, please remind me. It's from Walmart. Sawyer Squeeze or Sawyer Mini. They're like the Sawyer Squeeze has a higher flow weight, and they can filter up to 100,000 gallons of water.
Well, by the way, it's kind of a pitch, and I hate to do it because I don't like seeing other channels do it, and that's why I'm not personally asking people for stuff. But I have in my playlist. I have my wish list, and I've been kind of putting videos in there of things that I see that
I got me a wish list actually in my description box on my about page, and it's those are things that are pretty cool. I haven't gotten much off of that, but this right here, I just happened to mention to Grace, and she sent me one.
What is that?
This is called a Hudson Bay Tobacco tin. A lot of people back in the day, I think they actually used it for tobacco, but I use it for my fire starting kit.
Oh, that's cool.
And the top portion here, let me get this top off real quick because it sticks. I just rolled it across the thing. It's actually a magnifying glass.
Oh, wow. That's
For
really,
starting
really
fires.
cool.
You have the light. And if you polish it up, mine's a little, needs polished. You could use it as like a little signal mirror or a bunch of different uses for it. But
I
like
like
this has
things
got my
that
steel
have
striker, my new
multi-uses.
I got my flint in here. I got my striker in here. I've got my one of my smaller ferro rods in here. I've got a piece of fat wood in here.
Those are the best prepper things, is something that you can use in multiple ways.
Well, that's why I'm going to tell you why I like my striker, like this one.
Uh-huh.
This one here has so many uses. It not only can you use it for starting fires. Since it is made out of a file.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'll be back.
Okay. See you. Talk to you soon. You take care of your puppies. Okay, folks. I'm not sure who's still here. Please put a 1 in the chat if you're still here or whatever. I didn't mean to lose you. Please say hi to me. Let me know you're here. I have so much more to talk about. I just wanted to see who's here. Oh, what about waving the knife? I was going to try testing this thing on the fat wood I just got. And Ron is coming back. Hopefully Ron will get through. Hope you can make it, Ron. I'm looking forward to meeting you, talking with you.
You're funny, Kenny, funny.
My friend Ron is trying to come up, and we're having issues connecting, apparently.
Stop it.
Oh, there he is. How you doing, brother? Oh, we lost him again. Dang it.
Can I do an unboxing?
Oh, not today. This is not your channel. This is my channel. But I'm sorry, Victoria, but I want to trying to get things done today. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
Okay, it's all right. I'm gonna just open it anyway because I'm anxious.
All right, can you hear me, Ron? Ron, I can see you, but I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Okay, I can see him. He's moving around. You're coming through loud and clear. I can see you 5 by 5. I just want to I can't hear you. No sound. Oh, there you go. Try now. Let me see here. Nope, it's not my side. It's got to be your side. Can you turn up your volume? Let me see if I can increase the volume. He's back. Now, I'm not sure if you know about Ron. Ron is a rendezvouser and mountain man reenactor, and I'm going to have him up on my. Yeah, he's going to be up on my panel on Thursday. Hey, Tiny, how you doing? By the way, she's saying hi, Vicky.
Hello.
And here he comes again. Hopefully, we get him through this time.
Now I can start my other project.
I'm in a snowstorm.
All right, I can hear you now.
Yeah. My 4G kept kicking out. I had to make a phone call to make it come back on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I like your pipe.
Huh?
I like your pipe.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's why they call me Gandalf.
I can see why. I look forward to doing an interview with you on Thursday, so I can, we could learn more about this, but about what we do. But you are, like I said, you're the veteran at
Yeah.
this than I am.
Well, I got to stand in my trapping shed here so I can, for some reason, some of my buildings, since I've got steel siding on them, reflects the 4G and stuff. Crazy.
Yeah, I bet.
And sometimes I had to stand out my yard. But anyway, yeah, I'm in my trapping shed. This is my trapping shed.
Oh, wow. My boy's going to have so many questions for you.
Yeah, that's not even all of it. Yeah, I got
That's what my uncle
tons
said.
of
He
crap.
usually has more stuff than he could really use, and he doesn't use it all.
I'm going to step down.
Okay, Victoria, thank you for coming.
All right, bye.
By
Bye.
the way, Victoria was actually crocheting a hammock out of paracord.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. But
Yeah, I made one of those when I was in the Army back in the 70s.
I was in the Army too,
And,
but I was in the 90s when I was in the Army.
Yeah. I got out in the 90s. I retired out in 97.
I actually, I went into the Air Force in 97, got out. No, I went in at 87, got out in 91, went back into the Army in 91, got out in 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in both services. I got bored 1 month out. It sucked. You know the feeling when you first get out. You're like, what the hell do you do with yourself? That is a freaking.
Well, I'll tell you. Yeah, I got out I went in 75 right after high school, and got out in 89 or 8. Let me back up. I went in 75, got out in 79, spent 16 months in active reserve, and then went back in the Army as a medic. I was an infantry first with the 82nd, then I went back to the 82nd, and then bummed around different places. And then my last tour, my last few tours were with the 82nd, the 18th Aviation Brigade there at Fort Bragg.
I was an Army medic myself.
Yeah.
So,
What units were you in?
Give me a moment here. I'm terrible. I'm dyslexic, so I'm terrible with numbers. I was in so many different units. I was in an ambulance unit, so that should. Oh crap! Because you know for a fact when you go over, you don't stay with your unit. Unfortunately, they ship you out as needed. I can't remember. Oh crikey! I will remember it somewhere.
Where was you?
Random.
Where was you at?
Well, I started off as like you in the reserves, or actually in the National Guard, and then when the Gulf War first happened, you already know what happens after that.
Yeah.
And then I was in and out until 2003, and I've seen stuff I do not want to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've got those nightmares.
It's the thing is that as a medic, you're told you got to take care of people, and when you can't, that's where the nightmare starts.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I went through a bunch of that. I was in the hospitals for a while at Fitzsimmons and 82nd and 2nd Division. And it was kind of a nightmare sometimes, but I always tried to keep my job as funny as possible. Like I was working 2 years on a neurosurgical ward, and I used to walk around and walk up to some of the patients and say, "Hey, what's on your shirt?" They'd look down, and I'd pop them in the nose with my finger.
Oh yeah.
And what I was doing was I was teaching them. I was reteaching them short-term memory and long-term memory.
Oh yeah.
But the nurses, the other nurses didn't know what I was doing, and they got mad at me because I was doing that. And the patients started doing that to the nurses, and they were falling for it. And then they took me in and talked to me about it, and I had the neurosurgeon. The head neurosurgeon was sitting there. He said, "Why are you doing this?" I said, "Well, I'm teaching long-term and short-term memory." I said, "When I do it to them the first time, I didn't do it to them the second time." I said, "That's short-term memory." I said, "And then when I do it to them again and again over a period of time, it develops long-term memory."
That's true.
And he goes, "I like where this is going."
Yeah. That is freaking cool.
It was funny though.
It's
Yeah.
good to talk to a feather vet.
But I always tried.
Ooh, okay.
I always tried to keep everything cheerful to a certain point when I could.
I actually got to do one thing you might think is really cool. One of the posts that I was at, I'm not sure if you heard of the Nightingale, the Air Force
Yep.
hospital plane.
Yep.
I got to help transport preemies that were going home to their families finally. And I actually got to do that, from the hospital to the plane, onto the plane.
Yeah.
That's something that balances out a lot. Not everything.
Oh yeah.
A lot.
I spent some time on the preemie ward. I spent some time on the preemie ward there at Fitzsimmons, and I spent a week with little preemie babies and babies that had just came around full term and everything, but they had the 5 that I was in charge of had cancer, and it really screwed my mind up.
Oh, that I didn't have to deal with that, thankfully.
Yeah.
But mine were the ones that were old enough and could, stand on their own enough to go home.
Yeah.
And
that gives you mine were still in cages.
Well, they were still on some oxygen just for safety's sake for the plane ride, but they were going home, and that at least somebody was going home. That's the thing.
Yeah,
and it wasn't in a body bag, and that's the biggest deal.
Yeah, those are old memories. Gosh.
Well,
anyway.
I hate to say this, in 77, I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
But
I went through jump school at 76, so you were 9 years old, and I was jumping out of planes and having fun.
Oh, yes, you were. I was stuck on the ground. Though I was Air Force prior to going in to before I became a medic, and that's a whole different aspect of being a desk jockey to being out in the field. That's so much radar energy. Sorry.
Yep. Anyway, let's get on to a different subject here.
Okay. Well, I was going to show you this the fire steel that I am going to be giving away this Thursday.
Yep.
What do you think of it?
It looks pretty nice. I like the dragon on it there. That's pretty neat.
This will be the second one I'm going to be giving away of this type. Frontier Outdoors won the first one, and I'm going to keep on acquiring these as long as I can to give them away because I think it's really cool, and it has so many uses other than just being a fire steel, as you already can see. As it's made from a file, you can sharpen your knife with this thing. If you really had to, probably more likely your axe with this kind of,
Watch your fingers.
Yep. It's a little small for my hand. That's why I, mine. I like mine's a really. I'm not sure if you saw mine or not.
I seen it earlier when you showed it.
Yeah, I love
it. A little bit bigger.
Well, I've got big freaking hands. I mean,
so do I.
It fits your hand.
So do I. I use a rat tail file, a big rat tail file when I made my first, and I still got it.
Yeah, and, this is mine, and it, it's very comfortable too. So, I don't know if I've got my blanket pins and my other stuff like that. I don't know if I could make a blanket pin out of this. I might. I don't know. Necklace, most likely.
You can. I learned how to make them. I learned how to make them. You take and you use a torch. You can bend them and then you quench them, and they stay hardened. And I made my first one out of a rat tail file, and I curved it just like that, except I left one in there for my pinky ring finger, and it done real good. But
I think that's what this
that
was
was my
made out
first try.
I think it was made out the same way.
Yeah,
You can see where that is,
yeah,
and I think it looks really cool. It gives a nice little flair, especially since it's a dragon.
yeah.
Hey Cecilia, hey Will, how you coming? How you doing? I got my Hudson Bay Tobacco tin, like I was telling you, thanks to Grace. But my steel is a little different. This one's like hand forged, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's like from a big basis piece of steel, and it strikes so easily. You can see it's well used and well loved.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
people get them, they don't practice with them. That's the key is to practice with it so you're proficient with them.
I take mine on my backpacking trips when I go backpacking every year, and I don't take a lighter with me. I just take this. So that way I've got myself covered with being able to start fires, because you can pick up tinder anywhere. But as long as you have this thing doesn't matter if it gets wet. It still works.
Yeah. Yep.
So how did you get into Rendezvous? I'm just curious.
Well, actually, I got into Rendezvous because I just liked reading about it when I was a kid. And then when I got to age where nobody could tell me I couldn't do it, I started doing it. I started getting in with a lot of the old survival experts and stuff that we had roaming around in the 70s.
Right.
And one of them was Ewell Gibbons. I met him in Fayetteville one time.
Why does that
and
name familiar to me? I've heard that name.
He's the guy who used to say tastes like wild hickory nuts. Remember that on the grapefruit commercial, or the grape?
Oh, him. Oh, okay.
The grape nuts commercial.
Yeah.
I
remember.
I met him. Yeah. That guy was really knowledgeable.
So I know. I mean, I've heard that commercial. I mean, I was wondering why that name sounded so familiar. Okay.
Yeah.
I always thought the reason I started doing it because, I mean, bear with me, rewatching old Daniel Boone episodes.
Yeah.
That, a couple other things, like in John Wayne and the Kentuckian and anything like that.
Yeah.
I've always liked those kind of shows.
Yeah, I actually took my wife-to-be at the time to see the Mountain Men back in '79 when it came to the theater there where I was at. I was born and raised in Indiana, in Terre Haute, and
Is that where you're at now?
Of course,
No,
I'm up here in Montana on the Bighorn River.
Oh, I did not know this, but thank you for letting me know.
Yeah, I'm up here in Mountain Man country. This is Jeremiah Johnson area.
By the way, another good movie, by the way.
Yeah, but Jeremiah Johnson was actually a real guy. He became a sheriff of Colson, which is now Billings, Montana. Or the Billings, Montana area. Yeah.
That's cool.
And he was known to go all the way over to Red Lodge, which was a mining area at the time, and bust up fights from from Colson, and that's about a 2.5 hour ride on a fast moving horse at the time.
Or a day and a half if you're really.
I know, but he wasn't poking along when he went to go tear up a fight. He took off and But he was actually a marshal. He actually stopped, became a marshal, and then I think he's buried, I think, in Arizona, or maybe it's Utah. But he's not buried here in Montana, I don't think. But there is a place where he had been buried, but he was resurrected or not resurrected. He was
reinterred
and moved to another spot, and I guess they still got a tombstone up in that area where he's at.
Okay.
Or where he was at. But yeah, he was a real person.
Okay, that's cool.
Also another one was the Mountain Men, which was basically in this area.
That's cool. Just to let you know that Ewell Gibbons was mentioned by Tiny Titan. It said that most parts of a pine cone is edible.
Yeah. He also got me into making pine needle tea back in the 70s, and now guys are thanking me because I turned them on to it back then.
But it's high in vitamin C. But I've always
High in all kinds of vitamins.
Yeah.
People are actually using it now to settle their daggone breathing problems that they were having with this COVID scare.
Exactly. Question: which type of pine is best in your opinion?
The best one is the sugar pine, the long pine needle.
Oh, the long pine needle. Okay.
No, the ones with the like the 8 and 10-inch long pine needles. That's the sugar pine.
I've seen those. I just didn't know what the names were.
Yeah.
I'm a little limited on my wood knowledge, which is really disappointing since my dad worked in a sawmill all my life when he wanted to own a wood. So he would basically gib slap me if I didn't know my wood.
Well, you can make it with other pines, but the sugar pine is better because it's not as bitter.
That's true. I've heard, but
you still have to add a little bit of sugar to it.
Well, they add a little bit, sweetness. Yeah. Actually, I've heard people actually use maple sap with that too. Not syrup, just the sap, because it's a little sweet too.
You can also put a little bit of beech. You also put a little bit beech sap into it too. Beech is kind of a sugary.
I don't think we have any beech here in Iowa. We have pine. We have a lot of hardwoods, but not that particular one, unfortunately.
Here I'm in the Cottonwood Valley here. I mean, all the big trees are cottonwoods, and the only other trees are what were brought here by settlers or people who planted a tree in their front yard here now. Those are the only non-native trees here.
Wow.
But the cottonwood is the one that's flourished in this region where I'm at. And when you get up higher, you get into the pine trees.
Yeah. My dad.
Kind of like a timber.
Yeah. My dad talked about cottonwood all the time growing up. He said he hated that it stained his hands when he worked with it. But, it was good for making stuff out of. He was a woodworker.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes really nice decorative wood. Like if you're making a cabinet or you want to use it for trim around your doorways and windows and stuff like that, it makes real good workable wood like that. But the thing of it is nobody really wants to mess with it because of the fact that there's no call for it. So they use pine for everything, and then hardwood is so super expensive anymore.
Right. My dad made furniture with it.
Yeah.
Basic stuff, like benches, chairs and stuff like that.
But it's a light wood. It's a soft wood, but it's a light wood too. It's lighter than pine by a long shot because it don't have as much sap in it. But it does, it's still heck on a fireplace. So if you burn in the fireplace, it still puts out a lot of sooty stuff in it. But you get what you can get.
Oh, you would love what I have outside my garage right now. I have about a cord worth of ash.
There you go.
We got a big ash tree cut down earlier this year. I have a 8-foot piece I got held back that I plan on finding someone who could help me make some bows out of. So, since I'm mainly an archer, so I'm trying to get some more longbows. I would love to have an ash longbow, just one. I don't care if anybody makes anything out of the rest of it, but I want an ash longbow.
I'm thinking about going back to where I'm from and getting me some yew wood, hedge apple. That is outstanding bow material.
Osage orange is hedge apple.
Orange, Osage orange or hedge apple, same tree. Makes them big old yellow balls.
No, the thing is, I would love to have an Osage orange longbow as well, but I do have a yew recurve, deer sineowback, that you would probably love to see. I will show it to you probably on Thursday. But I'm into bows. This is my thing. I love bow hunting small game over big deer because it's easier to find smaller game than big game most days for me. Because everybody's out hunting deer. All the rabbits and squirrels are just, driving everybody else nuts. No pun intended. Oh, that is freaking. Why
Yeah,
haven't
put
we
your little
done
game
this?
stopper on. Put your little game stopper on there and knock the crap out of them.
I've got hedge blunts, I've got judo points, and I've got rubber blunts. I've got,
Yeah.
and I also have, you can still use your fill points. Will still take it down a rabbit or a squirrel or anything like small. I'm a firm believer in cedar arrows, just because I'm a traditionalist. Bear with me, but and I've got my Zwicky broadheads that I use for bigger game.
Yeah.
You got,
Yeah. I got into bear recurves way back in the early 70s when I was a kid, and I had a 76er. It was a takedown, a cheap takedown. It had about a 45-pound brawl or 45-pound draw on it.
That's
and I shot cedar arrow. Oh, it was a nice little bow. I had it for probably 15 years, but then I switched over to compound bows, and I shot a few tournaments with those down in the Carolinas.
Right.
But I just got onto another compound a while back at a one of our mission stores here that we have in Billings, and got it for $20. It's a Hoyt anniversary, and I got it for $20, and it had everything on it.
And I was going to nod because I have no clue about compounds at all.
I didn't either until I got into them and I started reading it and everything. And somebody I run into on one of these ranches I was working on was Chuck Adams.
Okay,
you know who Chuck Adams is? He's a world record holder for elk here in Montana.
Oh,
and he hunts all them elk come off the same ranch.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All five of them.
I didn't realize that's what his name was. Okay.
Yeah. He's taken 5 world records off of one ranch, and I got to see one of them when they brought it in, and it had like 6 foot of antler on that sucker, man. Wow. It was huge. There's a bigger one that they're fighting over right now that went across the imaginary fence line onto the Crow Reservation or Northern Cheyenne over here by where the ranch is at. The borders.
They can't touch it.
Well, he shot the daggone thing, and it got away, and it got over on the other side of the fence, and they said, no, you can't take it. This is sovereign country. It's ours now. So they've been in a battle for that sucker for a couple years. I don't know if he ever got it taken care of or not, but they were fighting over for a long time. It was like the grandson of his first world record he took. Same genetics and everything. This has the same this has the same 50 elk herd that one came from. And I was out there several times doing roofing and stuff, and you could hear these elk battling off into the distance.
Wow.
And it was like, good grief, what is that noise? And go out there and you see 2 big elk out there slamming each other with antlers and stuff, and
I'd love to
scuffling and everything. They're a few hundred yards away, but you can hear them.
There's no elk in Iowa.
They're monsters.
Unfortunately. I actually met one of my heroes when it comes to traditional archery. I'm not sure if you've heard of his name. Is Byron Ferguson?
Yeah.
Now that guy could shoot. I've seen it. I mean, this guy hits aspirin out of the air. More of a trick shot artist, mostly, not a hunter, but still one heck of a shot with a longbow, no less. I got to meet him a couple years ago at the Iowa Deer Classic.
I've seen a few of his expeditions on TV and stuff, and it's like, that's okay if you can do that all the time. You learn that stuff real quick.
I mean, the fact is that as old as he was getting, and he was still being able to hit a drop of water at 50 yards or whatever it was he was shooting at.
Yeah.
At being able to see, I have to have glasses. I can't even see that far. let alone hit a little drop of water dropping out of a faucet or something.
Or even an aspirin somebody flipped up in the air, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not sure.
It took me 3 months to learn how to shoot an egg with a flintlock. You know.
I don't have a flintlock, so I can't really say I know that one.
A
But I can probably
swinging
hit an egg
egg.
with my bow.
Well, yeah, but when you swing that thing on 2 foot of string, it's kind of hard to get the timing down. But once you learn how the timing goes, it's easy.
Oh,
It just took me 3 months of solid shooting.
that's a
I
lot
shoot
of powder
3 hours a day.
That's a lot of powder and lead to go through.
No, well, not really. I wasn't using a high velocity round. I was only shooting 25 grains out of my muzzle loader because I was shooting a short distance. I used to cut cards, which I still do every now and then, just to make people mad, and shoot cross strings where the string goes crossways like that in an X, and you have to shoot the center out of it. And once you learn how to do that, then you can do it. Or shooting the fire off of a candle, all the other novelty shooting. I spent months learning that before I went down and joined the club there in Indiana. And they said, can you shoot? And I was there in all my garb. I had my buckskins on and everything. I said, yeah. So you want to cut cards? I said, yeah. So they went down there and I said, you want to shoot cards? And they went down there and they stuck the card up face like this. I said, no, like this. And the guy looked at me and said, you can shoot that? I said, yeah. So after I cut about 4 of them, the guy says, are you here to join the club? I said, yeah. He said, okay, guys, who wants to vote this guy in? And one guy says, without any dues. They wanted me in there bad.
That's pretty cool.
So I didn't pay any dues for that year, you know, but that was funny
cool.
because I went down there and I showed them what they had to do, you know.
Oh yeah.
They were paper shooters, and then we started doing the really nasty stuff there with like shooting an axe head and splitting or busting 2 clay pigeons on each side. Right. Very, very easy to do if you have a rifle that shoots straight.
And you also have to have an axe head that's not warped. You got to be careful with that too. That your trajectory too.
Yeah.
I've heard people cheat.
We always use a double bit axe.
Okay. I was going to show you this. This is the trade knife from the 1960s.
Yeah.
What do you think? I found this at a secondhand store.
Actually, it looks like the one that they're selling in one of my catalogs I take. They call it the Hudson Bay knife.
Is it?
And they're selling one like it now. It's like a giant butcher knife, just like that.
Well, this is not a butcher knife.
And they have also a smaller one. Well, no. Well, a butcher knife, that was a butcher knife to them because you only carried so many knives, you know.
Right.
You had your small woodland, your woodlore knife, and you had your big butcher knife that you cut stuff up with. Then you had your throwing knife.
Right.
And then you had your tomahawk. And those are only basically the 3 you had: a skinning knife, a woodlore knife, a butcher knife, and your axe.
I have a small hatchet.
You only carry so much.
Axe. I have a Collins axe. It's not a big one or anything like that, but it works for me. And I've got this one here.
Yeah.
It's not too fancy, but it works. The only issue is I'm left-handed, which makes a lot of this gear hard for me to use because it's always on my right side, not my left. I know you'll laugh at me. But I was going to tell you, when you were talking about your bear recurve, my boy and I were out in this one place, and they were doing a citywide trash day where people just getting rid of stuff. We found a 1953 bear recurve, 20-pounder, mind you, just a kid's bow, left-handed, from 1953. Because that's the copyright date on the bow. You don't see her. I mean, Fred Bear probably made that bow, and someone just threw it on the curb.
Yeah.
Not a scratch on it. We were just glad that we saved it from being thrown away. but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
But
reacting.
Fred Bear was the first one to take down the polar bear within a few steps. I think they surprised it or it surprised them, but he raised up and put an arrow through its heart.
Didn't he only use
And
a
everybody
45
looked at him
bow?
like, holy crap. Huh?
He only used a 45, I think, didn't he?
I'm not sure what the weight is. I can't remember anymore, but the arrow weight was like 700 grains with the tip.
Wow. I mean,
And
my
it was a puncher.
I
I
mean,
think he was pulling probably a 60-pounder, but all of his stuff is he had only his best stuff. I mean,
obviously. I mean, I have some carbons that I won at the Deer Classic this year that are 430 grain.
yeah.
And I mean, they go about 185 feet per second out of my 74-pound longbow. But, oh man, I don't know about pulling something.
You also have to remember now, that was a cedar arrow with a large broadhead on it, a 2-blade broadhead that he shot that bear with. Yeah.
I actually pull a 74-pound bow, as I just said, but my smaller bow, I usually carry about a 55-pound takedown recurve, and I've pulled cedar as well, 4-fletched arrow. Actually, I will show you all this stuff on Thursday, because if I start bringing everything out, my wife will scream at me. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
But I actually, I love my archery gear, and that the fact is that, VOOs and other reenactments that I do allow me to shoot. And that's my biggest thing. And I love being able to take somebody out and go rabbit hunting with a bow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I would probably put more food on my table faster than someone going elk hunting, because I can you pick them up faster. And they're a lot easier to clean. Unfortunately.
Well, you also have to remember that, elk hunters are probably only 10% of the people go out and actually bag an elk. If everybody went out and bagged an elk, then they wouldn't have a season the following year.
No.
Just like deer. Deer is the same way.
Exactly. And the fact is, everybody when you talk about hunting, what's the first thing they talk about? Elk or deer?
And they talk about antlers.
I don't care about
antlers. If I get one with antlers on it, that's a plus.
I got that's a food item is all I care about. It puts food on my table.
Yeah.
That's what I care about. And as my friend
last year I shot a doe.
If I had a doe tag, I would use it. I don't care. It's food on the table. My friend Cornfed, who's in the chat, said that you can legally cross property lines if the deer crosses it. If the property owners throw a fit, call the DNR and they'll help you. That's here in Iowa.
Yeah. However, when you're on a reservation here in Montana, the reservations have sole priority over their own land.
Oh, they're
a sovereign nation.
Yeah.
They're a sovereign nation.
We have several reservations here in Iowa too, not as big as yours, obviously, but
this one takes up most of our county, which is gigantic. I mean, if you look on the map of southeastern Montana and look at the reservations, you'll see that the Northern Cheyenne is a little reservation, and the Crow side is gigantic. It goes all the way to Yellowstone County. I mean, it's just gigantic. It takes you hours to get across that thing on a close area.
I bet.
And for me to drive from here to Sheridan, Wyoming, I have to drive, once I get onto the interstate, I will drive for at least 80 miles until I get to the Montana border. And I'm driving through the reservation. And that's just the southern part. That's not east to west, which is the largest part of it.
Yeah, we're not that big here.
Yeah, this is one of the largest reservations on our country.
I bet. I mean, I'm not bad. I can believe you on that one. I've heard stories. I've heard about how big that place is and what goes on there, but I just know it's just rumor and speculation on my part. You have firsthand experience, man. That stuff. I mean, you can't beat that. I have a friend of mine who's in chat who does high-powered air rifles. If you know about those, pretty much the same principle as your black powder, but they use compressed air. And we're talking about 50
PPC.
caliber. They use 50 caliber air rifles.
Yeah,
So
it's called a PPC.
I will take your
It
word
takes
for it.
a special kind of pump or a tank to fill the cylinder on the rifle.
Yeah.
You can't just pump it up. You have to use something other than the gun to get the power together. It's good for about 25 shots, though.
That's not bad, though. But
No.
it's on the same principle as the black powder, just without the black powder. But the thing is, if you blow a seal, you're screwed.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you a little history about air guns. You know who was the first one to bring an air gun out west?
No.
Lewis and Clark.
Really?
Yeah,
That's cool. That's information. I love that kind of stuff. That's history.
he had an air gun that he brought out here, and he used it out here. But then he gave it to one of the Indian chiefs as a barter, and that was the end of it. Nobody knows where the gun went, whether or not it was. But he brought the first air gun out west, and that was back in the 1813 area. Real long time ago.
Will does know about Lewis and Clark. He's actually from the Washington State area, but he's got a compressor and a hand pump for his and spare parts. I plan on getting my first black powder rifle, but I'm going to get a kit where I can put it together myself, for I know what it takes to get it to work, because it's too easy just to go buy something and just use it without knowing what it's about.
Yeah, see, I went and got my first one was a Thompson Center Hawken kit, and I got it from a place in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and the guys who were there taught me how to put it together, and I would take it in and show it to them at different stages, and they would tell me, okay, you need to do this a little bit more and that a little bit more, and I also helped make it a little bit more individual in my stock styling that I did to it. Yeah. And the guy who showed me the most on it was named Buck Buchanan, which is one of the best pistol shots for black powder ever. Wow. This guy won records all the time at Friendship, Indiana.
Wow.
But he was one of the guys who taught me how to do it and everything, and then they told me how to go about using it.
You had a good
leg. And that's where I flourished from that point on.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, I actually was shooting with him in one of the clubs. The Cross Creek Long Rifles was one of the clubs him and his partner put together. Buck Buchanan passed away a while back.
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Will actually has a comment about Lewis and Clark said that the air rifle that he had was a 46 caliber one.
No, they know 46 calibers. It's 45 or 50.
No, this was a air rifle.
Unless it was custom made. Oh, air rifle. Okay.
Yeah, it was for Lewis and Clark. That was the one they carried. Was the 46 caliber.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never heard of a 46 caliber either.
Yeah.
I know about 45s or 50s. I just try to decide which one I want and which one would be the best suited for me.
Well, the thing is, you have to remember is back in Lewis and Clark's days, those guns were made out of flat steel and they were wrapped around the mandrel, and then they were hand rifled. So whatever the hand rifling came out to for the caliber, that's how you gauge the daggone lead.
Right.
And most of the lead balls back then were individual. I mean, some guys couldn't change with the other guy because their ball was just a little bit bigger because of the way it was built. Just like
Right.
the Kentucky squirrel rifles were actually Pennsylvania rifles that were made in Kentucky.
Right. Will says that his air rifle is a 457, which is pretty close.
Yeah.
So I'm
Mhm.
taking a guess. I mean, because Will is the air rifle expert, in my opinion, because he knows more than me. And I'm, like I said, I'm learning. I mean, I'm more of a archer than I am into black powder, but I do have some firearms, just not many. I have I'm not sure if you've ever heard of it, an American Arms Silver 2 12 gauge over and under.
Never heard of it. But I don't hear about a lot of guns.
Well, I picked it up for $100, and it's a over and under. It's a nice gun, and I'm not going to call it it's not. It's. I think someone initially got it for doing skeet shooting, but even that with the right shot will still take down game, and that's all that matters. And I got me a 22, right? 22.
I've got
22.
I took down a building a few years back, and inside that building, when I took the inner walls down, it had a 12 gauge sitting inside the studs.
Oh no!
And it's a Sharps black powder mule or rabbit-eared shotgun. Of course, it's all deteriorated and everything, hanging on my rack in my house.
I would love it.
It's a Sharp. It's a Sharps metallic cartridge 12 gauge. It says Sharps right on it. Full and full.
I would love to see that.
It's an old beat up piece. I mean, it was sitting inside the wall for who knows how many years. The walls were plaster, so that tells you how long it's been.
Oh yeah. So the fact is that you were meant to find it, so it didn't end its life inside a dump somewhere.
Yeah. I asked the guy, I said, "You want it?" He said, "No, I don't have any use for it, so I'll take it home with me." So I've got it, and it's missing a few pieces, but hell, it's a conversation piece at that age. But it's an actual Sharps.
Hey, you have a piece of history there, so that's a big thing.
Yeah. I also had a London fowling piece, but somebody stowed the barrels from her, and they broke into my house one time. I had it disassembled. They stowed the barrel, and this thing is ancient. It's from the 1860s or 1850s. Nobody was ever able to give me an exact date time, but just say everything fit like a glove on it. So that barrel was totally useless to whoever stowed it. And I still got the receiver to it. The triggers, everything. It's got teardrops that run backwards on it down the handle instead of mounted onto the lower receiver. But it said on the barrel, it said London fowling piece, London, England on it. And I forget the name of the guy, but the barrel, you could look at the barrel and see it was a Damascus steel barrel, but it was also, each barrel was twisted around the mandrel, and then it was all silver soldered together.
Wow.
And they had engravings and shit all over it. It was really a nice looking gun, but I was in the project of restoring it, putting new stocks on it because they were pretty much shot.
Hey, Daniel, thank you for coming. Oh man, I could listen to you all day if I didn't have to get up in the morning to talk and go to work.
Yeah, well, sometimes you just have to take it in steps.
Oh, that's why we're going to be doing this on Thursday, and hopefully the person who runs the Two Rivers Rendezvous was going to be with us, and we can talk about rendezvous and how they basically got started and how to get involved for those people who are interested in getting involved, because we're trying to expand our local one, the Two Rivers one, and there's one thing we always need is a decent blacksmith, but we the last one we had moved away to Maine. He got a piece of acreage up there and couldn't turn it down.
Yeah,
There's a lot of land for and he raises goats and He's a blacksmith and all this other stuff. He's also the guy who married my wife and me.
Yeah.
Yep, he forged a marriage.
Wasn't it a shotgun wedding?
No, it was not. Actually, it was funny. The funny part, it was actually on my archery range that I run at Renaissance fairs, and we got married on my range. I thought that was pretty cool. It just, you know, his
me and my wife got married at her black powder club that I was in.
That's cool too.
The guys that was there for me, all the guys for my side of the marriage was all from the rifle club, and then I had my mom and dad, and my brothers there with me, and she had her mother and dad with her, and then, you know, we had a time. Got drunker and crap last time, but yeah, alcohol to me is a personality enhancer, and I'm a regular asshole when I'm sober, so, you know, I'm a bigger one when I get drunk.
I think you're really cool about it, because I think you're awesome. But the fact that you're one of, you know, I'm one of you. I mean, I'm like a small version of you.
We're all brothers. We're all brothers and sisters around the world.
Definitely.
That's the way I look at it.
I'm sure, have you ever heard of the Rendezvous up in Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin?
Yeah, never been to it though. I did go to a rendezvous that I made at Fort Bridger, Wyoming one time. When I got out, I drove out here, and I was looking for a job and stuff. But I went down to there, and I had all my black powder stuff, and I went in there to see the place. And when I got there, I was there early in the morning, and the guy who opened the gate was the curator of the museum. And we got to talking and everything. And I told him I was with the black powder clubs and stuff. And he said, "You got your stuff?" I said, "Yeah, I've got it." He said, "Well, go put it on and meet me down at the cabin." So I put it on, went down to the cabin. Here he is on the other side of the little gate they had there, eating breakfast. He said, "Well, come on over here and have some breakfast." So we're sitting there, and then next thing I know, people are coming through. He said, "You're part of the living history." That's cool. So he took me around the whole daggone thing. We're walking around in buckskins and stuff. Had my rifle with me and everything, and we were part of the history of, you know, the living history of all them buildings over there. And then he took me through the museum. And I looked up at one of the things they had for Jim Bridger. I said, "Ain't that a New England's, I can't think of it. Isn't that a Traditions muzzleloader?" He said, "Don't tell anybody." He said, "The real one's at the Smithsonian."
Well, that makes sense, because you wouldn't want to have that one from
yeah, it does. But I'm just saying, isn't that a Traditions muzzleloader? Yeah, but don't tell anybody. The real one's over at the Smithsonian Institute. I said, "Okay."
Production, but that's okay.
So later on, I looked for it at the museum in Washington, D.C. when I went up there for surgery at Walter Reed, and they had it down there.
Oh, that's cool.
They're very cool.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Copper Kettle, thank you for coming. Yes, I've been bouncing from 1,000K and down for months now. I get up to 1,000, lose a couple. Get up to 1,000, lose a couple. It's driving me mad about my subscriber count. Just gain 5, lose 6. Go figure. But it's okay. I'll still talk to people until it, you know, whatever happens. Okay. I have a Cecilia who's in the chat here. She's a pipe smoker too. What kind of tobacco do you use?
Whatever's available. I have certain ones I buy. Well, I have certain ones I buy through a catalog, and then I have ones that I use that are locally, and they're about the same prices that I pay locally with all the excise tax and stuff. And if I go through my catalog shop that I use, is a lot cheaper by about half. But
Cecilia,
it just depends on what I'm.
And she's planning on growing her own tobacco for that purpose.
Yeah.
So You know,
I was going to get into pressing my own out and doing my own cuts and everything, and it got this crap came up, and then everything kind of went nuts, and I said, well, I'll just bag it for now on, and wait for better, because there's a couple places that actually sell you whole leaves, and they sell you all the stuff you need to do with it. And I know how to make the presses, and I know how to cut it. I just need the tobacco, make some peach or some cherry, whatever.
More useful than just for smoking. I know it's got some additional uses as well, if I recall correctly. I just can't remember off the top of my head for what. But I do know it has been used for, what was it? Spider bites, maybe? I don't know. It's just something I remember reading, but it was probably like 10 years ago. I just can't remember exactly. It drives me nuts. I'm not sure if you've heard.
There's only about 300 different kinds out there to smoke on. I mean, it's hard to narrow them all down.
But I do, like I said, I do remember reading something about medicinal uses for tobacco that's not smoking wise, but just topical, if I remember correctly. But it's been a while. But you don't hear about it very much because the cancer aspect overrules, other things. And I'm not going to say much about the cancer side, because I actually lost my mom to that lung cancer, but she smoked like a chimney, cigarette wise. But that's okay.
Cigarette tobacco is different than pipe tobacco.
Right.
It doesn't have as much of the additives to it to keep it on fire. Good pipe tobacco will put itself out.
Right.
So
my dad smoked a pipe, and he
just
not
goes
sure
to
what
show you.
he was smoking, but it made the house smell like apples. And it just, I think it was something gold, and it was an amazing. It made the whole house smell good. It was. I'm not a smoker myself. I've dealt with too many people dying of cancer due to smoking, but I'm not going to put anybody down who does, because that's your choice. I've actually just purchased some pipes for Cecilia, and I could show them to you, and you tell me what you think.
Okay.
Because I'm going to consider you an expert on this particular topic, because I don't know what I'm talking about for the most part for pipes. To be honest,
I take and use a church warden, which was designed here in the United States back in the 1600s for the church wardens who guarded the churches, since nobody had locks back then.
Right.
And they're designed so they keep the smoke and the flame away from your face while you're out there guarding everything.
In other words, you're a Gandalf pipe.
Yeah, pretty much a Gandalf pipe.
Well, this is the ones that I'm picking up for Cecilia. 3 different types. Cherry, walnut, and what's the last one? There's cherry, ash, and walnut.
Ash, yeah.
Got it for $15.90. Not too extravagant. And I got another set for her that I actually had to go on to Amazon Canada to send to her because of the shipping. I was having trouble with shipping through customs and stuff. So I got an order going through Canada, Amazon, and through regular Amazon. I just hope she's happy with what she gets. So, like I said, I'm clueless.
They look like nice. They look like nice pipes. I mean, I don't pay a bunch of money for expensive pipes, mainly because I'll probably drop it and break it if it was expensive. So I got cheap ones that I don't drop and break.
Well, I'm looking at the bowls of this one. They look like they've got a metal insert or screen or something in there.
Those protect the wood. Pipes are made out of burl, which is basically a knot.
Right.
Yeah. Most good pipes are made out of burl, That's what I get. Most of my pipes are coming from places like Italy and Germany, and they're pretty good pipes for what I'm using them for. And I buy church wardens mainly so I don't set my beard on fire. But
Oh, it makes sense.
yeah, but you know, a burrow pipe is always a better one because it's a knot and it's a harder piece of wood. And I've got a couple that do have inserts in them, and that's basically just to keep them setting the wood on char too quickly and destroy the pipe.
They
So, you know,
sell around here. They sell corncob pipes, which I don't understand. Why would anybody want one of those other than novelty items?
Yeah, exactly. They don't last very long. Yeah.
No. And I know friends of mine who do the Rendezvous and Renaissance fairs and SCA events. I'm not sure if you know about the SCA or not. The Society for Creative Anachronism. They do medieval reenacting. They use a lot of clay pipes, the long clay pipes.
Yeah, German clay.
Well,
Yeah,
Irish
German clay pipe.
A lot of people do the Irish stuff, but yeah, pretty much similar. And all they do is they get the pipe stems are like seem like 2 feet long to me anyway. And as they go along, they just break up the mouthpiece part and just snap it off as they go along as it wears out, and just keep on smoking their pipes.
Yep. Yeah.
And literally, one of the last person I see one was a young kid about 22 smoking one of those, and you're like, where the heck are you learn to smoke one of those things? Because it looks like the pipe was older than he was. But
yeah. Well, I had a pipe that was older than me one time. A guy found a place there in Indiana where they were being made at about 100 years ago, actually 125 years ago now. But they were ones that it was just a bowl. It was a local clay made bowl that they made back in the 1800s, and you used a daggone hollow stick basically to smoke it with.
okay.
And I had that thing for a number of years, and then it came up missing. I don't know where it went, but it was when you just put a reed into it and you smoked it. And a lot of times I used cattail reed to smoke with it because it was the right size for it. And I think that's probably what it was for, you know.
Probably.
But yeah, that thing was an antique when I had it. It was ancient, but I smoked on it for a number of years before it finally just disappeared. It was a brown clay, one of the clays there in Indiana that they were digging and making stuff out of.
Right.
Kind of like the ones that you have out of planters.
Right.
You know, terracotta type of clay color to it, and then they had the glaze on it.
Okay, they had a kiln forged that fired then.
Yeah, kiln fired with the glaze on it to keep it nice and smooth.
You said originally you're from Indiana, if I remember correctly. Grace Martin, who's in the chat, is also from Indiana. Just to let you know. Yeah. And she's a really cool lady. I met her back in August at my archery get-together that I hosted. I thought, and it was, you guys from Indiana are pretty cool. She gave me something that you might get a kick out of. Give me a second. It's right behind my computer here. You may have heard of it.
Yeah, I wish I knew where she was. Where was she from? In Indiana?
She's not Indianapolis. Grace, southern Indiana. She didn't say where exactly. Grace, could you please tell me where exactly? And that she gave me one of these. Floyd County.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you knew about.
Yeah, that sounds southern Indiana.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I still got family in Indiana.
That's cool.
I got my brother lives south of Indianapolis. I got a cousin that lives in just north of Vincennes, and a few others. I live there in Terre Haute.
She lives across the river from Louisville.
Across from where?
Louisville.
Oh, Louisville. Okay, that would be probably down around Albany.
I don't know. She
Down
says
around the
across
Albany
river from
area.
Louisville is what she says.
Yeah, yeah. That's one of the only bridges that crosses the Ohio River there.
Yeah, that's where she lives. I think she lives on the Ohio side of that river, by the bridge, I think.
Yeah.
And like I said, her and her son came out to my archery get together back in August, and it was a lot of fun meeting her. She is an awesome lady. She actually got me my tobacco tin, a Hudson Bay Tobacco tin, and
yeah.
That thing, I'm gonna cherish that one, as you already know.
Well, the reason they had that, one of the reasons they had that is on account of you didn't have to build a fire for your pipe when you were smoking it. You just used a daggone magnifying glass to heat the pipe up.
Exactly.
Smoke the pipe with the yeah. A lot of people don't know that. I use mine for my tinder box, and I would use the daggone magnifier when it was available. You know, when the sun was available, I would use the magnifier instead of using my flint and steel, because I used a lot of arrowheads when I was in Indiana and down in the Carolinas. Out here, you can find all kinds of sparking rocks around out here, so I don't really worry too much about it.
They don't have flint here in Iowa. They have chert, which is the close substitute, but it's only in the eastern side of Iowa, not where I happen to be in southern Iowa. By the way, Grace said she's in the New Albany area. If you know where that is.
New Albany. Yeah. I know where it's at. I crossed that bridge many times.
She's family now. She's from back home.
Yeah. Yeah. Something you have to remember about when the Indians roamed around here. They roamed around, they found their flint where they could, and they traded it with other tribes and other clans of Indians. And, like here where I'm at, there's not very much flint, but there's a lot of quartz that
works really well,
fairly decently. Yeah. I've got some huge quartz rocks that I use, and when I bought my house, an old rock hound used to have it, so I've got a pile of daggone quartz rock and petrified wood and all kinds of geodes and stuff all over my yard.
My boy actually got me something at the VU a few years ago for my birthday, and it was a piece of jasper.
Yeah,
and jasper works too. It's just hard enough to work. So he got it for my birthday, which is when the VU was happening at the time. So I keep that with me wherever I go. It wasn't wrapped originally.
Well, I got it. I have a few arrowheads that I found around here, and I've got one of them is a real nice one I don't mess with. But on my flintlock, I'm using an arrowhead that I chopped the broken tip off and made it clean.
Right.
So, I got a good quality piece of flint, and it's not store-bought.
That's cool. My boy, actually, we were at a place called the Makokata Caves in eastern Iowa, and he found a 2,000 to 4,000 year old spearhead there at the park.
Yeah.
It was standing up on edge like that when he found it, and he turned it into the park because it was on a state park. You don't take things from state parks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he turned it in, and they put it in the museum with his name as the finder of it. He was 9 years old. At 9 years old,
man,
he's an amateur archaeologist now because he's got a And
tell his grandkids about it.
oh, it was like this long, and you could still see the serrated edge along this thing. It's still sharp.
Yeah.
After all, I mean,
Yeah.
the tip was broken off, but it was still pretty long. It was a spearhead, and it was just on the trail, standing on edge. No one, like, they had like 1,500 visitors there that weekend we were there, and no one found it except him, because he was looking for it. He was looking for something.
I found a bone that they wouldn't identify. It's petrified, and I found it when I was a kid in Indiana. I was grubbing around in a cornfield after it was plowed up,
Right.
and I found this bone that looks kind of like a knee bone, and they wouldn't identify it at the university there in Terre Haute. They told me that they couldn't identify it.
It probably was a
And I
human.
go, and at 9 years old, I said, it looks like a daggone knee bone. I think it was in 5th or 6th grade when I found it. So it looks like a knee bone.
What you do?
Oh, we can't say that. So I still got it. They told me I could keep it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I still got it laying downstairs with the other rocks that I've carried over the years.
My boy
But
is
it's funny.
collecting rocks from everywhere. He's actually got Hawaiian volcano rock due to a friend of my wife's lives in Hawaii. So she lives on the Big Island in Hawaii. She sent him a volcanic rock. So he's trying to get rocks from every state. So it's gonna be interesting to see what he comes up with. And he's 15.
I've got rocks from everywhere I went. I got some rocks from the Garden of Eden, between the Chagres and Euphrates River when I was in Desert Storm.
How'd you? You're not supposed to do that. At least that's what I was told.
Nobody told me about it.
Oh,
the brigade brought one back about the size of a small cow, and put it in the Dagon Brigade headquarters and put a monument sticker on it. Then, big old brass placard on it. And I've got some down there that's about the size of my fist that I picked up out there. I've got some from Grenada when I was in Grenada. And I've got some from California and all the other places I've been at. I always pick up a rock and say, "Oh, this is a cool rock. I'm gonna take it home with me." I've got some rocks from Korea when I was stationed there.
When I was stationed in Germany,
I used to juggle them.
Yeah, I was stationed in Germany when the wall was still up, and I tried to get a piece of the wall. I couldn't even get close to the wall. Dang it!
Yeah,
you know how it goes back then.
Yeah.
But then it came down. Then everybody and their grandmother had a piece of it, which really sucked. But
I have those 3 rocks I brought back from Korea. They're all different rocks. All 3 of them are different rocks. I had one of the. Huh?
Can you spark with them by any chance?
No, these are just rocks I picked up at one of the quarries I had to sit at one day, and I had one of the Catusas over there paint some symbols on them for me, because I was using them for juggling. I was out there juggling the Dagon rocks, and the Cathusa asked me what I was doing. I said, I'm going to take these rocks and juggle them and take them home with me when I go back to the States. So he decided he was going to put some symbols on them for me, some Korean symbols. Yeah. He painted them on there with some model car paint.
Well, just to let you know, Grace is also a fellow veteran. She's Air Force veteran too, so she's a sister.
That's cool. Yeah, she's a sister veteran.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of veterans in my chat, which is really cool.
Yeah,
and we're from all over the place and all services, which is really cool too. My dad was a Marine. My wife's dad was a Marine. My wife was Air Force. I was Air Force and Army. Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm just getting a little tired. I've been up since 4.
Yeah, my dad. Yeah, my dad was Army, and my father-in-law was Navy in World War I or World War II. My dad was in after Korea. My
dad was too. He
brother-in-law was in the Navy.
My dad was stationed in Okinawa.
Yeah. My dad was stationed at Fort Gordon. I was born at Fort Gordon.
You're actually born on the coast. Oh, wow.
I'm actually a baby to the Army, and what was really funny about it, I went to nursing school down at Fort Gordon, Georgia, and we had our school in the old section of they already built the new hospital, Eisenhower, which was a multi-story hospital. The old hospital that I was born in was a single level. So we're sitting in class on the first day, and the commandant comes in and she said, "Today you're in nursing school, and this used to be the labor and delivery room of the old hospital, which was only a small section of the hospital was left. The rest of it had been bulldozed under." And I just, back there in the back of the room, I just go, "Oh, I thought this place looked familiar." And she got all mad at me. And one of the instructors came back and said, what are you talking about? So, "I was born in this room."
Oh, hey, that's actually is kind of funny. What they
It
say,
is.
didn't say anything about it because you were actually born there.
Yeah. I was born in that room, you know, or one of them anyway. But the funny part of it was, see, the 82nd Airborne actually started, the 82nd Division started at Fort Gordon, and I was already been in the 82nd.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what was that's like a relevance there, you know.
right.
Here you are, you're born in the same room on the same post as the place that you've been at already,
Wow.
and everything
You were
comes
meant
to
be there.
a head.
Yep.
Exactly.
You're born and
saying,
bred
you
to
know.
be there.
But yeah, a real Army brat.
Literally. Born and bred.
Yeah.
So bad they had to bring you back.
Yeah, I'm the only one of my brothers. I'm the only one of my brothers that went into the military. My older brother didn't have to go in because his number didn't get called up during Vietnam, and I went in right after they had shut it down. And so I was in the all-volunteer Army then, and then went back in. Everybody kept telling me, "Don't go back in. You don't need to go back in." I said, "No, I want to go back in."
That's why I went
At that time,
back in.
well, at that time, it's in the 70s, in the late 70s, when I got out the first time, the jobs market really sucked bad.
Right.
And I couldn't get any work, and quotas had to be made by, you know, you had to have so many females working here and there. I tried to go in the sheriff's department. They wouldn't let me in because they had to have 9 more women on the force and all this other crap. So I went back in the military.
I remember when I was in, I got in in 87. And when I got out in 91, the job market so sucked. I mean, I couldn't, you tell me you're a veteran and they kind of snubbed your nose back then about being in the military. So I went back in because I missed being in uniform. I missed the free meals and missed not having to think about it and being abused about it because you were in the service. And so I became a medic and went on for another 12 years.
Yeah.
And I got in before the Gulf War. You know, I just went in because my family was military. My mom was in the VFW. My dad was in the VFW. My grandpa was a veteran. All my uncles were veterans. We had every service covered in my family, including Coast Guard, which is really freaky. And we're from Iowa.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out that one.
Yeah.
Navy, I can understand.
Well, I got out of
understand Coast Guard.
Yeah.
But now,
I got out here in 97. I had a friend that retired and came out here to visit him during the winter time. And I told my wife, I said, I'm going to retire out here. And I changed my state residency to Montana. And then I came out here and about 8 years after I got here, I joined the VFW here. I was already a lifetime member in Indiana, but I came out here and I became a past commander. I was a commander for the VFW, the local VFW here for about 4 years.
If I have
And
not
then-
said it yet, Ron, thank you for your service.
No problem. Thank you for your service.
You're welcome. I did what I needed to do. Was all I can say.
Yep.
I was never a nurse
Not-
like you. I was a little, ambulance driver, but that's what I did.
Well, I didn't tell you the good part about it. I went to nursing school, and they had a hard time when I made my decision that I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go back to the line.
Right.
They got mad at me. You know, you're the undergraduate. I don't need another watch or another plaque. I said, I want to go.
You want to be
Put me
active.
back
You
in the
wanna-
field.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I said, put me back in the field, and they sent me to a hospital for 3 years.
Dang.
Then I finally got out of that and went to the second division in Korea. And then when I came back, it said, you're going to, gosh. 7th Light Infantry there in Oakland, California. I said, no, man, I'm going back to the 82nd. I want to go back and jump. No. So I fought with them for like a month to get orders back to Fort Bragg. And me and my wife were sitting there at Fort Bragg after that and made my PCS move and stuff. And we watched the earthquake hit Oakland.
Oh, wow.
I said, aren't you glad we didn't go to Oakland? I mean, they showed the interstates had fallen and everything.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Sitting there I'm sitting there in North Carolina going, wow, aren't you glad we didn't go to Oakland?
Yeah, I remember watching the stuff on TV about that. I was like, that was just cool.
I was
glad
supposed to
in
go
Iowa.
there though. Yeah.
Yes, I was actually stationed in the Air Force for 2 years out at the Presidio of Monterey. I'm not sure if you remember that one. That's the linguist school.
Yep.
And as an admin in the Air Force, I cut orders a lot. Wasn't very extravagant, wasn't very fancy or anything like that. I was just a E4 pencil pusher, as you said, boring as all get out. Beautiful area where I was at, though. Great for backpacking and hiking. And the deer came down to the dorms outside my window, and I was not allowed to touch them. You know how hard it is trying to make a bow hunt outside your window in California? Oh my God! Literally, they're outside the screen window.
Yeah.
And I got myself in so much trouble when they found out I had my bow with me. Because you're not supposed to have your bow in the barracks.
I had that problem too.
It's not a firearm. It's a bow.
Yeah.
And they told me I had to keep it in my car. I go, what's the whole point of having it in my car? It's like, but
they got mad at me for having a slingshot in the Dagon barracks too.
Yeah. Oh man, the things you get in trouble for.
I know. That's the fun part of it.
I mean, I had so much fun though, with some of the people that I met through because one thing about the Presidio, that wasn't just Air Force, it was all services.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. You got Navy, you got Army, you got Marines, all that. And some of my best friends were Army. And that's probably why I chose Army after I got out, just because I liked the people.
Yeah.
And they were some of the craziest, Emma. Oh my gosh. I had so much fun with those guys.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, you make what is some people go in there, they hate the whole time they're there. And I always told them, I said, make the best out of it.
Oh,
because you never know who you're going to run into or who you might see later on. And I have guys on Facebook and guys who watch YouTube that contact me and say, hey, I've seen you here, or they say, hey man, I've been looking for you for years and stuff like that, and get back with them and hadn't seen them in like 25, 30 years,
right.
It's like, damn, the rehook up all over again and talk about crazy crap you used to do, like throwing bowling balls out the window at the sergeant major walking down the sidewalk.
Ours
Yeah.
wasn't so, that crazy. I mean, a lot of the guys were pretty tame when it comes to some of the stuff, because a lot of the people going through the Lingua school were kind of eggheads for the most part. And they actually had a contest on the dorm floor, because I was the only permanent resident person on the entire dorm floor, and because I worked on post, lived on post, and they decided one day to do a crazy slipper contest. I know that sounds kind of weird, but all these people with the ones that look like Bigfoot and all this other characters of different things, fuzzy bunny slippers. And the one guy who won the contest wasn't even entered. He was, just coming out of the showers, and he comes out with Ron and Nancy Reagan slippers. And he wouldn't even try. He it was just his slippers. It was just it was, and then there was the platoon that did their PT test dressed up as MASH characters.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. One was even wearing a dress. I just sat there, just laughed my butt off. I didn't have to worry about being chewed out, because I was active duty. I didn't have to worry about it, but it was so funny. The fact that they did.
I can tell you some stuff they did back in the 70s and 80s, man, that I couldn't say on YouTube because your channel would get taken down. But
exactly, I can bet.
I had guys in platoons I were in, and they done some really, really weird crap.
Oh yeah. I remember when I was stationed in Germany, I was working in an underground skip shelter, and you wouldn't believe the stuff that I'm sure you wouldn't believe it. The stuff that goes on with the people going through.
Oh yeah.
Not the people working there, just the people going through there. And when you're down there for at least 2 weeks or more, you get a little loopy. I mean, you don't get to see the sun. It's like literally probably about 54 degrees at all times. And I mean, no contact with the outside world at all. And yeah. I spent
90 days on guard post Olet in Korea when I was down there, and I stayed inside the bunker and watched TV for about the first couple weeks. Looked at every video they had in the library. And I came out one day, and the guy said, "Who are you?" I said, "I'm the medic." He said, "Well, where you been?" I said, "I've been down in the bunker." I said, "This is the first time I came out of here to have sunlight, I mean, I stayed in the bunker all the time because there wasn't nothing else to do. I was the medic, and all the other guys had to guard the post and everything."
Right.
But, I come out there and go, "Hey, guys, what's up?" Or somebody walk over to me and say, "Hey, what are you doing over here?" I said, "Well, right now I'm just standing right here watching you guys do stupid stuff," and some of the guys will laugh, some will get mad at me, but
right.
Sometimes you have to pull out a wild card out of your hand there and throw it on the table so they wake up.
Right. Oh,
like doing toenail extractions, and somebody looks at you and goes, "Okay, well, that's the last one. What you going to do now?" I said, "I'm going after breakfast." And they just looked at me like, "Man, you are sick."
Oh, I mean, I don't want to get into some of the stuff I've seen. I mean,
oh yeah.
This is a graphic content warning for anybody in my chat. I am going to explain something that I seen when I had to take care of when I was out there. It was a soldier who got his hand caught in a tank track and got his hand peeled like a banana.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And it's hard to treat something like that because, I mean, the skin got peeled from the meat of his hand, and there's only so much you can do when you're treating. because the pain is not going to go away, and I don't carry enough anything to stop that kind of pain.
Yeah.
And the fact is that he saw it happen. He didn't have his hand, where his hand couldn't be seen or anything like that. And when I was transporting him, that's one of those useless moments. And I don't know if he ever got the function of his hand again because of it. Because, I mean, I'm not sure if muscle or tendon got tore or not, but because that's above my pay grade. Ugh. And that was a light moment.
I will have to cut it short. My wife's calling me. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have to cut it short. My wife's giving me a holler.
Oh, well, say hi to your wife for me and tell her, thank you for letting us borrow you for a little while.
Okay.
And I will hopefully see you on Thursday about 8:00. And hopefully my friend Ryan will be with us, and we'll have a really awesome chat about Rendezvous and the things that go on there. And I'll get to show you some of my Rendezvous stuff that I wear, and you can bring your buckskins if you want to wear them. You can. If you don't, that's cool too. But it's been an honor to speak with you, Ron.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, brother.
You guys have a good night.
You too, brother.
All right. Talk to you later.
Now that you are one awesome individual. For those people, that was Ron Seeley, I believe his name was. And he is one awesome veteran. If anybody has his link to his channel, please let me know. I would love to see it. There's Ron Seeley. I don't have his link. If anybody has his link to his channel, please post it in the chat below. I greatly appreciate it. Daniel, sorry for didn't get to say it. Marino, thank you for coming. I didn't see you. I was busy. Yeah. Ron I'm one of a small version of Ron because he is in the Rendezvous like myself. He is a veteran, a brother. Oh man. I mean, he was even a medic like me. So yeah, he's who I aspire to be right now. So those of you who've been on for a while, I've been on for 2.5 hours. I'm going to be doing a live on Thursday, and I'm going to be doing a giveaway for this fire steel. And yes, folks, it is a dragon head fire steel, just like the one Frontier Survival one. This is going to be just for this one. Maybe I'll throw in some fat wood in there. Who knows? And I even have a canvas bag somewhere. I could probably add to that as well. So hopefully you will meet and come and see us on Thursday. We'll do a live drawing of all you guys, and hopefully somebody will win this fire steel, and I will send it out next week when I get paid. Now, folks, I am getting tired. I've been on for 2.5 hours. I need to get some sleep. So I will say good night to everybody. Thank you all for coming. Goodbye, Grace. Good night, Marino. Good night, Daniel. Good night, Cecilia. Copper Kettle Farms, thank you for coming. Will, love you, brother. Rob, thank you for coming. Tiny Titan, thank you. You're awesome. Cornfed, I love you. You already know that, brother. Let's see here. Tyler, thank you for coming. I'm not sure if you're still with us or not. And Ron, you already know how I feel. Mike, thanks, buddy, for coming. I want to hear more about your experiences too. Victoria, thank you for coming up. You're awesome. Who else is in here? SD Mountain Man. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to talk to you more, but hey, we'll talk to you more on Thursday. Love you all. Thank you for coming.